Thank you, Christina. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for coming along. I've been working in the pharmaceutical industry for about 25 years now, and I'm really passionate about advancing digital transformation in this industry. My work covers topics like, of course, digital twin and AI that I'll be talking about today, but also simulation and everything around data. You'll be aware already of a number of trends that are influencing today's pharmaceutical industry. They include the demand for new therapies in the market and the demand to get those to patients as fast as we possibly can. The need to balance that priority with reducing the environmental impact of the pharmaceutical industry. And we know that it's, in CO2 terms, one of the greatest emitters in the industry today. And also reducing costs so that we can improve things like access to medications and health equity overall. Digitalization, of course, offers solutions to these problems, but customers do struggle with implementing these solutions on a holistic level and with an end-to-end strategy. Instead of the challenges that are facing the pharmaceutical industry, I want you to imagine instead a world where every drug, from discovery to patient, is precisely traced, modeled, and optimized. This is the realm of AI and digital twins, where we have connected virtual replicas of molecules, drugs, processes, and even of entire plants. Digital twins and AI are transforming every aspect of the drug life cycle. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore the power of combining AI and digital twin to bring high-quality drugs to our patients faster. If you haven't had a conversation recently about AI, then you may have been hiding on a deserted island. The basic principles of AI were developed over 50 years ago. Siemens was an early pioneer in AI at that time, working on linguistic data processing already in the 1970s. The reason that AI has been fueled recently is the better access to data. Through better computing power and through better digitalization systems, we have greater access to the really large training data sets that are needed to make advances in this area. Stanford University produces a report every year, and the latest report shows that industry rather than academia is fueling the way and leading the way in research in this area. It also shows that AI can now outperform a PhD student, even when that PhD student has internet access. Who here would like to take on that challenge? Okay. Not many. Not many. Digital twins, on the other hand, are virtual personalized representations of physical entities. As they're connected to the real entity, they not only look and behave like their physical counterpart, they also mirror and collect data in real time about what is really happening. So they can be used to simulate what is happening, and they can simulate what would happen if the parameters of the system were to be changed. In the pharmaceutical industry, they're used throughout the drug life cycle to model biological systems, drug molecules, processes, and even the entire plant. So when we put that all together, we see that the availability of data has led to growth for AI. We see these magic digital twins that provide live, accurate, high-quality, real-world data, which AI can use to learn and predict. So much more than historical data sets or static data sets, the AI is now training on a live, real-world data set that it can use to learn and predict. Looping that back around, we can then use the digital twin to test the hypothesis that our AI has come up with before we deploy it. And we can use it even to deploy that output in the case of operational digital twins. This combination and this symbiotic relationship creates a continuous loop of optimization through the life cycle of your entity. Important to be aware of in the pharmaceutical industry, of course, is what the regulators think. It's good to know that the FDA recognizes and really recognizes the potential for AI to enhance drug development and manufacturing in many ways. They see it as improving access to safe, effective, and faster drugs, providing broader access, improving quality, improving drug safety, and allowing us to develop novel drugs and drug classes and even personalized medicines. The FDA have also told us that in 2022, more than 100 drug and biological submissions used AI and ML components. That being the case, this is no longer a choice. This is something that we really must do to keep up with what the rest of the industry is doing. Let's explore some of the ways that AI and digital twin can be used through the drug life cycle. The big focus of the pharmaceutical industry today is in the area of R&D rather than necessarily in the manufacturing. In that area, drug discovery is the most exciting area of all, particularly in terms of artificial intelligence. Drug discovery, however, is really challenging. Experts in the area have compared it to finding a needle in a haystack. The drug discovery process often begins not in a laboratory, but at a desk, exploring vast complex data sets from existing research, publications, patents, and other sources to identify targets. Finding useful insights from this data in these formats is difficult, it's extremely inefficient, and it's probably not the best use of your very qualified scientist's time. Instead, we can use AI to mine this data, identify new or repurposed drug candidates in a fraction of the time. An example of this is during the COVID-19 pandemic, a pharmaceutical company used this approach to identify an existing drug that could be used to treat COVID patients and discovered it in just 48 hours. Because the drug was already on the market, that drug was rapidly approved for reuse on patients of COVID-19. Only 1 in every 1,000 target molecules that we discover in our research process will make it through to the clinical trial stage of development. Screening that really large number of candidates for multiple characteristics will be almost impossible with manual approaches, and again comes with the challenge of time, speed, and what your scientists are spending their time and abilities on. Instead, Siemens and AI simulation tools can predict in silico how chemical compounds will behave. This avoids the need for expensive trial and error experiments, gives us huge efficiency, and gives us huge cost savings. Once we have targeted the best candidates to bring forward in our process, they can progress to non-clinical research, or what we call pharmacokinetic studies. The Siemens model-based environment combines models with real data to accelerate formulation design for the most stable and bioactive drug solutions. So that means how stable the drug will be when it sits on the shelf, having been manufactured, and also how it will perform in the body. How readily will it be absorbed? Is it going to cause any side effects? In this example, Siemens digital twins were used to understand the performance of an inhaler and its medicine. By scanning the mouth cavity and the lungs, scientists created 3D models to explore the best delivery device and dosage design for this medicine, rapidly accelerating progress to clinical trials. In this area, the FDA Modernization Act of 2022 authorized the use of certain alternatives to animal testing. So in the era of sustainability and our consideration of what we're doing to the planet, Allowing us to do as much of this work in silico as possible not just makes things faster, not just makes things better, it makes the whole approach more sustainable.
Thank you for watching. To learn more about this topic, check out the links in the description. And if you enjoyed what you saw, like the video and subscribe to the channel.